Welcome back. My next guest says multiple attacks like the ones that we saw in Belgium, or we are seeing, are the new normal. Here to talk about it is Bob Strang. He's the former co-chair of New York's anti-terrorism task force. Thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thank you, Heather.
So these explosions today come 4 days following the capture of Salah Abdeslam. Is it possible that the planned events that he talked about were accelerated, and that's what happened today?
Exactly. I think law enforcement, intelligence agencies around the world are, starting to put together pieces of this major arrest on Friday and put it together with intelligence, put it together with devices that were seized, with other social media, other informants, and start to patch together pieces of future attacks, future cells, maybe not with the specifics of the attack, but at least the people involved. So naturally, when Salah was arrested on Friday, his colleagues, his co-conspirators all around Europe quickly gathered together and decided probably the best thing to do was move ahead quickly. Either abort the issue or move ahead quickly. And so far we've seen what they've done right here, and they've moved ahead at the airport and the subway in Belgium.
Well, and I was also wondering, authorities releasing the information saying that he was giving them information about planned future attacks. Perhaps that pushed them to accelerate the date. Well,
it's possible. The fact that he was arrested, the whole world knew it. He was the #1 fugitive when it comes to ISIS and trying to apprehend him in Europe or wherever he was in the Middle East. So it had to be the news. And then the following information was that he was alive, he was talking, and, naturally that gets people motivated to do things quickly. It moves people out of the way. It's a double-edged sword. It can stop people from attacking because they know, in fact, they're going to be caught and they have to move away quickly, go back to the Middle East or somewhere where they can't be targeted as easily, or they're going to move the other direction and attack us quickly. And it looks like in this case at least one cell that was affiliated with Salah. That's what they did.
Now the crime scenes themselves, at least 2 explosions, we're being told, happened at the airport. Another explosion within the subway near the EU headquarters, also near the U.S. Embassy. What are they looking at in terms of evidence at these crime scenes right now?
Right. Well, remember, structurally they have to be careful. So they're going into an area that just had a huge explosion. So the investigators who are doing the forensic investigation, they're going to be looking for everything that could lead back to other individuals. They're going to be looking for any kind of phone devices, any kind of rifles. As we already apprehended, there was one rifle and one suicide vest. So they're going to be looking for things like that. Any clues, any forensic information that might lead them to other cell members. Because remember, our biggest defense here is to identify who is in the pipeline to attack us next. That's the best way for us to stop one of these attacks.
And then also protect ourselves. And I did want to ask you about, as co-chair of the anti-terrorism task force following 9/11, you know full well all of the security measures that were put into place at airports, at other modes of transportation. Following this event today, those security levels will have to be increased even more.
That's right. I can tell you as a former agent and somebody who runs a global security company that these things are always in place. Remember that every day when we wake up, when there's not an attack, we have the same intelligence going on, we have the same enforcement operations, we have the same security that we see on the streets. When we have an event like this, we just turn it up. We increase all of that so that we use those same methods that we use every day, but now we're multiplying them. We bring in police officers who are off. We bring them in for overtime. More FBI agents are diverted to particular areas. More of our intelligence and the NSA and so forth have to increase their information gathering. So these systems are always there.
And we know that the bomb went off at the airport, at least, in an area prior to going through security. So that would have to be addressed in the future.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure whether it'll be addressed because we have a police state. We're going to be searching millions of people every day in the subway, millions of people at our 3 airports in New York and all across our country. I think really, remember, the intelligence is really the most valuable. If we maintain our intelligence, we continue our enforcement operations, and we have our security on the streets, in the subway, and, just as best as we can with visible police officers and citizens reporting information, those are the things that are going to keep us safe. This is inevitable. This kind of thing that happened in Europe, it's going to happen again, unfortunately.
And that is so sad to say. Bob Strang joining us live, thank you very much. And we do have some additional information. We're now being told, according to the Associated Press and according to Reuters, that ISIS is in fact claiming responsibility for these multiple explosions that happened in Brussels this morning. At last count, at least 31 people dead and some 200 wounded. ISIS claiming responsibility.